What happens when America's beloved morning show host Robin Roberts sits down with the Duchess of Sussex in what was meant to be a friendly chat about her latest humanitarian project? What unfolds is far from the carefully managed interview Meghan Markle's team anticipated. When her polished public image collides with Robin's no-nonsense journalistic instincts, the result is a tense and unforgettable exchange. The Good Morning America studio buzzed with its usual pre-show energy as Robin Roberts settled into her chair, reviewing her notes one last time. Across from her, Meghan adjusted her perfectly tailored blazer, her smile radiant under the bright studio lights. Behind the scenes, however, tension was already simmering. Insiders revealed that Meghan's team had submitted an unusually detailed list of off-limits topics, a list Robin reportedly questioned during the pre-interview briefing. "Good morning, everyone. I'm Robin Roberts, and we're here with Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, to talk about her inspiring new initiative supporting women entrepreneurs globally," Robin began, her trademark warmth filling the room as the cameras rolled. Meghan's initial answers were flawless, gracious, articulate, and carefully measured. She spoke passionately about empowering women through financial literacy programs, visiting small businesses, and supporting those striving to build their dreams. For the first few minutes, the conversation unfolded exactly as her publicity team had hoped. Positive, polished, and on message. Robin nodded along, asking the kind of gentle questions expected in a morning show segment. But those familiar with her interviewing style knew the soft beginning wouldn't last. Robin has built her reputation on being respectful yet unflinching, and this day was no different. After Meghan wrapped up her prepared remarks, Robin leaned forward slightly, signaling a shift. "That's wonderful work, Meghan, and I know our viewers appreciate hearing about these important initiatives," she said, her tone still warm but now carrying an unmistakable edge. "I do want to ask you about something that's been making headlines recently. There have been reports of significant tensions within your team, with several key staff members leaving your organization over the past year. Some former employees have described a difficult work environment. How do you respond to those characterizations?" The change in Meghan's demeanor was instantaneous. Her practiced smile faltered ever so slightly, replaced with a defensive posture as she clasped her hands. "Robin, I think it's unfortunate when people choose to focus on unsubstantiated rumors rather than the meaningful work we're accomplishing," she replied smoothly, though a sharper tone crept into her voice. "We're talking about empowering women and creating positive change in the world. Isn't that what really matters here?" Robin didn't back down. "I agree your work is important, but our viewers deserve transparency from public figures, especially those in positions of influence. These aren't just rumors. We've spoken with multiple sources, including people who worked directly with you. What's your response to their specific concerns?" The atmosphere grew noticeably heavier. Meghan's team exchanged nervous glances from the wings, clearly alarmed that the conversation was veering off script. Meghan's voice, now edged with frustration, cut back. "I find it deeply troubling that you would amplify unverified claims from anonymous sources. These individuals signed confidentiality agreements, and it's concerning that they would break those to spread negativity. I have to question the motivation behind giving such allegations a platform." Robin raised her eyebrows, signaling her dissatisfaction. "Meghan, I want to be clear. We've verified these sources, and their accounts are consistent. As a journalist, I have a responsibility to ask, are you saying all of these former employees are lying?" The tension in the studio became palpable. Camera operators instinctively adjusted their shots, sensing the magnitude of the moment. Off to the side, Meghan's publicist frantically gestured at producers, urging them to shut down the line of questioning. Meghan's composure wavered as her voice rose slightly. "What I'm saying, Robin, is that I'm disappointed you're choosing to focus on workplace gossip rather than substantive issues. I came here to talk about empowering women and making a real difference in the world, and instead, we're discussing disgruntled former employees who clearly have their own agenda. Robin Roberts didn't build her career by backing down from difficult conversations, and she wasn't about to start now. The confrontation was only beginning to heat up, and what followed would shock viewers and ignite a storm across social media. The real fireworks were still to come, and Meghan Markle was about to reveal a side of herself that left the entire studio stunned. Robin leaned back slightly, maintaining her professional composure despite the rising tension. With decades of experience and thousands of interviews under her belt, she could sense when a guest was on the verge of cracking. "Meghan, I want to give you the opportunity to address these concerns directly," Robin began. One former staffer specifically mentioned feeling screamed at during meetings and described what they called emotional manipulation. These are serious allegations from people who worked closely with you. Meghan's composure fractured. Her hands, once politely clasped, now gripped the arms of her chair. "Are you seriously going to sit there and attack me based on anonymous gossip?" she snapped, her voice trembling with emotion. "This is exactly the kind of character assassination I've faced for years. I thought you, of all people, would understand what it's like to be a woman of color in the public eye, constantly torn down by the media." The studio fell silent. Even the camera operators froze. Robin's expression hardened. She had just been accused of racial bias on live television, a line everyone in the room knew had been crossed. "Meghan, let me stop you right there," Robin said, her voice steady but edged with steel. "Don't you dare make this about race when we're talking about how you treat the people who work for you. I've spent my entire career fighting for representation and equality in this industry. I will not let you weaponize our shared identity to deflect from legitimate questions about your conduct." Meghan's face flushed red. "Weaponize? Are you kidding me? This is exactly the double standard women like us face. When a white executive has high standards, they're called a perfectionist. When we do it, suddenly we're difficult or demanding." "High standards?" Robin shot back, her professional mask slipping. "We're not talking about high standards, Meghan. We're talking about multiple reports of you reducing staff to tears, creating such a toxic environment that people quit without other jobs lined up. That's not high standards, that's bullying." The word hung in the air like a thunderclap. Meghan's jaw dropped, stunned by Robin's bluntness. Behind the cameras, producers frantically signaled to each other, unsure whether to cut to commercial or let the drama play out live. "A bully?" Meghan repeated, her voice rising. "How dare you call me a bully on national television? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand the pressure I face every single day. Every decision I make is scrutinized. Every word I say is twisted. Maybe if these employees couldn't handle a high-pressure environment, they shouldn't have taken the job in the first place." Robin's eyes flashed. "So now you're blaming the victims? These are people who left lucrative positions because they couldn't tolerate working for you. One even sought therapy after leaving your team. But sure, it's their fault for being too weak to handle your high standards." Meghan laughed bitterly. "Victims? That's rich, Robin. Really rich. You want to talk about victims? Let's talk about me, about how the press has tried to destroy me no matter what I do. And now, even you, someone I thought would understand, are joining in on this character assassination." The interview had officially derailed. What began as a promotional appearance for Meghan's charitable work had spiraled into a full-blown confrontation destined to dominate headlines worldwide. Robin fought to keep her composure. "Meghan, I'll say this once more. This isn't about the press. This isn't about racism. This isn't about double standards. This is about how you treat people. Multiple sources describe a pattern of yelling, throwing objects, and creating such a hostile environment that your own staff nicknamed you Duchess Difficult behind your back." The color drained from Meghan's face before rushing back in a deeper shade of red. "Duchess Difficult?" she repeated, her voice trembling with fury. "They called me Duchess Difficult? Those ungrateful, backstabbing—" "Careful!" Robin cut in sharply. "You're on live television. Millions of people are watching. Is this really the side of yourself you want America to see? But Meghan had lost all restraint. Years of pent-up frustration and resentment came spilling out. You know what, Robin? I don't care anymore. I'm tired of pretending to be perfect. Tired of walking on eggshells. Tired of being everyone's target. Yes, I have high expectations. Yes, I demand excellence from my team. And if that makes me difficult, then so be it. The studio descended into chaos. Meghan's publicist had given up trying to get the producer's attention and was now furiously texting, no doubt scrambling for a way to contain what had become a public relations nightmare. Robin Roberts sat back in her chair, visibly stunned by the meltdown unraveling before her. "So, you're admitting that the reports are true?" Robin asked quietly. "I'm admitting that I refuse to apologize for having standards," Meghan shot back. These people knew what they were signing up for when they took the job. If they couldn't handle it, that's on them, not me. The confession was broadcast live to millions, crystal clear, undeniable, and devastating. Yet Meghan wasn't finished. Robin leaned forward, her instincts sharp. "Meghan, you just admitted on live television that you have no problem with the behavior your former employees described. Do you understand what you just said?" "I understand perfectly," Meghan snapped, her voice defiant. "I refuse to lower my standards to coddle people who can't handle real work. And let's be honest, this interview was a setup from the start. You had no intention of discussing my charitable work. You just wanted to ambush me with gossip and lies." A shocked murmur rippled through the crew. To accuse Robin Roberts, one of the most respected journalists in America, of staging an ambush was professional suicide. But Meghan seemed beyond caring. Robin's eyes flashed. "A setup? These are legitimate questions about your conduct. The fact that you can't handle them says everything our viewers need to know about your character." "My character?" Meghan's voice climbed, sharp and furious. "Let's talk about your character, Robin. About how you sold out another woman of color for ratings. About how you're doing exactly what the tabloids do, tearing down successful women to make yourself look good." The studio fell silent. Robin Roberts, known for her unshakable grace, looked as though she was fighting every instinct not to end the interview then and there. "I'll give you one chance to take that back," Robin said, her voice deadly quiet. "One chance to apologize for suggesting I would compromise my integrity for ratings." Meghan laughed harshly. "Apologize? After you ambushed me, attacked my reputation, and called me a bully on national television? You've got some nerve, Robin Roberts." That broke Robin's composure. "You're right, I do have nerve. The nerve to ask tough questions, the nerve to hold public figures accountable, and the nerve to tell the truth, even when people like you try to intimidate me into silence." "Intimidate you?" Meghan shrieked, leaping to her feet so hard her chair rolled backward. "You're the one with the platform, the one with the power, and you used it to destroy me." Robin stood as well, her voice rising to match Meghan's. "I didn't destroy you, Meghan. You destroyed yourself the moment you confirmed every allegation against you. You blamed the press, your employees, even me, but never yourself. You refused to take responsibility." Meghan's voice cracked with emotion. "I take responsibility every single day for trying to make the world a better place, while people like you tear me down at every opportunity. But I'm done. Done pretending to be perfect. Done apologizing for who I am. And done with this interview." She ripped off her microphone, glaring into the camera. "America, you want to know the real Meghan Markle? Here she is. I'm not perfect. I'm not always nice, and I don't apologize for demanding excellence. If that makes me the villain in your story, then so be it." Turning back to Robin, Meghan's voice dripped with fury. "And you, Robin Roberts, you just lost every ounce of respect I had for you. You could have lifted up another woman, but instead, you chose to tear me down." She stormed toward the exit, heels echoing against the studio floor. Her publicist scrambled after her, desperately trying to manage the damage. while the crew stood frozen in disbelief. Robin remained at her chair, her face a mixture of sadness and resolve. She had broken through the carefully crafted facade, but there was no satisfaction in it. Taking a deep breath, she turned back to the camera. Well, viewers, I think we just witnessed something unprecedented here on Good Morning America. That was Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, and clearly, she had a lot more to say than anyone expected. Behind her, chaos buzzed as producers scrambled to handle the fallout. The explosive confrontation was over, but the shockwaves were only beginning. Meghan Markle had shown her true self on live television, and there was no taking it back.